Hello, everyone. Good evening to all of you. My name is Ishita, and I welcome you all at Worldify Academia Hub. I am so happy that you all are here, and I hope that I will be able to provide you all some tips and strategies for OET exam related questions. So, we will be discussing about OET exam related questions today in this session, and we will be basically focusing on the writing module. Okay. So we will have, strategies and tips and most asked questions in the writing module in your OET exam. So you can just, I hope you are going to enjoy the video and the session will be informative for you. Let's begin now. Yeah, just give me a second. All right, everyone. So let's begin with this. We are going to start with the writing module. All right. So we will be first discussing about the writing module of OET exam. All right. And we will basically be talking about the strategies, and I will tell you all that what are the most asked and commonly asked questions in the OET exam. All right. So first, we are going to discuss the writing module, and let's start with this now. Here we have, the writing module basically has a case note. Okay, I hope you all are aware of the basic structure of the writing module in the OET exam. So, as you all are aware that you all will get case notes regarding any patient. Okay, so in the case notes, the most common query that I received is that, you know like, ma'am, what should we read first in the case notes? Should we first read the case notes, the details of the patient, or should we read the question, the writing task in the writing module? All right, so what I can suggest you is that you first read the writing task. First read the writing task and then go to your quiz notes. When you read your writing task first and then you read your case notes and the details of the patient, it just becomes a little easier for you. Why? Because your brain will know that, okay, this is why I am writing the letter. Okay, if you just look at your notes first and you try to figure out that what is there in my case notes, what is the patient's condition, who is the patient, what is going on, you might get confused. Okay, so if you read the writing task first, it will give you an idea that, okay, this is the purpose of my letter, this is the recipient, I'm going to write my letter to this person. Okay, and this is why I'm writing this letter. Then you will read your case notes from that mindset only. Okay, after understanding the writing task, right, it will give you an overview of the case notes. And the writing task itself can tell you, if not tell you, then at least it will give you an idea that what exactly you can expect in your um in your case notes. Okay, like the writing task, if the writing task has a question like, you are the head nurse of the Spirit Hospital and you have to write to the admitting officer of some other community center, Mr. Michael, okay, regarding the discharge of Mrs. Rachel. So this writing task is giving you so many important points. First, that you are the head nurse. Second, who you are writing to, the recipient's name, and their position at the community center. Third, their address, community center. Fourth, what type of letter you have to write, discharge letter. Fifth, who is your patient's name? What is your patient's name and who is your patient? Mrs. Rachel. Okay, so from this, you will get 4 to 5 very important points, and that will give you, uh, you know, an idea about what you can expect in your case note. Okay, so here we have writing module OET exam case notes. Uh, we have here. what you can do is read first writing task and then case notes, because that will give you an idea about what you can expect in the case notes and what might be there, and what like with what mindset you should read your case notes. It will not be like that you will be blank, right? So first read writing task and then case notes. Then it is very important to understand the recipient of the letter, right? So it's very important that you understand to whom you are writing the letter. Okay. uh we have here, just give me a second. While writing, keep in mind the following tips. Okay, so here we have these are the tips that you should keep in mind while you are mm, attempting the writing module. Okay, let me just write it like this. Okay, then another thing that you have to do is understanding the recipient of your letter. It is very important that you understand the recipient of your letter, who you are writing the letter to. Okay, because that will give you an idea about like the tone of your letter. Okay, if you have an idea about who you are writing the letter to, the tone of your letter will be regarding that only. Okay, like if you're writing to GP and you know the GP before, right? You have met GP before earlier, or it's a known case, so your tone will be a little, it can be informal, not properly informal. Okay, you have to maintain the professionalism in your letter, but it can be a little light, on a lighter note you can write the letter. But suppose you are writing to a physiotherapist, or like we can say orthopedician, or anyone who you have never met, right? So then the tone will be different, the tone will be more formal and more professional. So understanding the the recipient is very important, right? Understand to whom you are writing the letter to, that you will get from writing task. Writing task will indicate about that. Okay, then we have here another thing. While you are writing a letter, you should plan your content of your letter according to the recipient. Okay, like when you will read your writing task first, and then you will reach to your case notes, and you will skim your case notes and go through it, right? So you will understand that what exactly you have to write to the recipient. Okay, what are the important points, key points? All right, there are key points, there are some, there will be some details regarding the patient in the case notes that will not be relevant to your writing task. It's very important to understand the writing task, because that will give you the purpose. Here we have writing task will give you the purpose. Okay, so it's very important that you understand the purpose of the letter, right? And according to that, you figure out that in your case notes, what points are relevant and what points are irrelevant. All right. So here we have writing task will give you the purpose. Okay, if you have to write for follow up care, or you have to write for uh, urgent attention, or if it is a discharge letter, referral, transfer, you will get the idea. Okay. Then we have, you can just leave out the irrelevant information um, in the case note whenever you feel confused. Okay. Every time you feel confused while writing the letter, you feel like you don't understand a certain point in your case note, you can just leave it out. Okay. Don't need to include it in your letter. Okay. Just try to, you must have knowledge about it, at least that you can assume, or you can just write a diplomatic statement and information regarding that in your letter. Okay. If you are not really confident about a certain point, you don't know much information about it, maybe it is an illness, maybe a symptom, maybe medication name, whatever it is, you can just leave it out. Okay. Or just provide enough information about it, like whatever you know, whatever you can write about it, just write that. You don't need to stretch it out. Okay. Then we have, while writing your letter, um like we can say, while you are writing your letter and you get confused regarding the social history. Okay. So social history of the patient you will write to, like, a physiotherapist, you can write to doctor, orthopedician, right? So just leave the information which makes you uncomfortable or like confused regarding the patient. Then we have another thing that you can do is that while writing the letter, if the exam is difficult or confusing, right, you can leave out any confusing data which is there to simplify the letter. Okay, it will be always like I would say convenient for you, and it will be easier for you if you just leave out that point. You can just write a diplomatic statement, something which is not really specific. Okay, that even if it gets wrong, you shouldn't. Your marks should not get reduced, and just write it enough that the person who will be checking your exam, they can understand that okay, you have addressed that point. It's not like you have completely missed out on that point. Okay. Another thing that I would suggest is like the common types of letters that are there. Okay. They can include community letters, community nurse letters, basically. Um, One second, let me just put it here. Common types of letters you can expect: community nurse letters. Okay. Community nurse letters, visit letters, and then we have referred back letters also, referred back letter, and discharge back letter. Okay. These are the most common type of letters that are there. Okay. So, like community nurse letters are very common. Why? Because in foreign countries, patients go to doctors and then they go to community health centers for follow up care. So that is why community nurse letters and refer letters and discharge letters are very common. Okay. And this is another reason why, many of you must be wondering that why do you never get a case note for a transfer letter? Transfer and discharge letters are still not really common. Okay. Even if you practice and you will come across the case notes, okay, you will find that referral letters are very common, right? So this is the main reason for that. Now, if we talk about the community nurse letters, okay, main word in community nurse letters will be follow up care or ongoing care. We have here, if we write about community nurse letters, okay, so the most common word, the main word or keyword in these type of letters will be follow up care or ongoing care. This is what you will be writing a lot in your, community nurse letters. Then, if if someone is new to this OET preparation and they are not really aware of what follow up care is. So follow up care is basically, it means when patient needs to continue treatment at the community center. Okay, their treatment is not over yet. They need to get the treatment. Okay, so that is what we call follow up care. You can get a question like, you are the head nurse of Spirit Hospital, and write a discharge letter regarding the uh, follow up care of Mr. Michael, who was admitted in your hospital under your care. Okay, so now Mr. Michael is taking a discharge, okay, getting a discharge, and now you're writing the letter to some admitting officer, or to whoever the recipient, okay, for follow up care of Mr. Michael. Understood? Then we have here another thing. Uh, what you have to remember is, ongoing care means continued care for the patient. Follow up care is basically a little different from ongoing care. Follow up care means patient needs to continue treatment at the community center. Ongoing care means continued care for the patient. All right, so this is what you have to keep in mind. We have here follow up care is basically patient needs to continue treatment at community center. This is what we mean by follow up. But then we have ongoing care. Ongoing care is basically continued care for the patient. Okay, so this is regarding the community nurse letters. And why do you, like, if someone has this question that why do you get community nurse letters a lot? This is the main reason that, in many foreign countries where patients go to doctors, they then go to community health centers for follow up care. Okay, we have here. In foreign countries, goes to the doctor and then in community health center for follow-up care. Okay, so this is the reason why, most of the times you get a community nurse letter. All right. Then we have here, all right. So this was regarding community nurse letters. Then we have visit letters. We talked about visit letters here, that visit letters are also very common. So, visit letters are like that if a patient came to a clinic, but he or she did not get better. Okay, so these are visit letters. We have here second type of letters, visit letters. All right, so visit letters are what basically? Visit letters are patient came to a clinic but did not get better. Okay, so in this type of letter, visit letters, okay, this will be most of the times the scenario that you can expect, that patient came to a clinic but they did not get better. So the question might be like, write a letter to a specialist regarding the patient. Okay, here we have the question can be like, question can be like, write a letter to specialist regarding the we can say regarding the patient's condition. Okay, so this is how you can expect your questions in visit letters. Okay, then main word or main focus will be on condition has not improved. Okay, this will be your main focus in visit letters. All right, you have your main focus will be on condition not improved. So basically, in visit letters, your whole content and the information that you are going to write will be surrounded around this main, this main, we can say, statement, or this main cause, that the condition of the patient has not improved, and this is why we are writing the letter, and this has to be done, whatever is given in your case notes. Okay, now we have here. Like what you can write, what you can write in the end of your letter. Okay, because visit letters, we have to keep in mind the purpose of visit letters. What is the purpose of the visit letter? Basically, the purpose of visit letters will be that uh, here, that the condition of the patient is not has not improved. Okay, patient came to a clinic but did not get better. So regarding that only, your content will be. So you can write, you can request a specialist or uh, their expertise for further management. And what you can do is, like, this might also be given in your writing task. Okay, like, write a letter regarding the patient who did not get better, or their condition was not improved, and write a letter to the specialist asking, requesting for their further management on the case. Okay, so that is how you can write it. Okay, so here we have the visit letters. I hope this is clear to all of you. Then the next thing that we discussed here was referred letters. Okay, referred back letters. 1 second, let me just put it here. Referred letters are also very common. All right, and there is a great, like, there is particular strategies that you can use. Number third, refer back. So basically, referred back letters will be that, you like, you were referred to the patient by the GP of the patient. Okay, suppose GP of the patient referred uh, the patient to you, like, you receive the responsibility of the patient, and then you just referred back to GP for follow up care of the patient. Okay, so this is what we call referred back letters. Okay, that patient is referred by GP to specialist or to you, then refer back to GP for follow up care. This is what we call refer back letters. We have here. Okay, so, like, the question can be, write a letter to the GP regarding the patient. Okay, now one thing that you have to keep in mind whenever you are writing the letter to GPs. Okay, if you all are aware of the basic structure of what to write in any type of letter. Okay, and in basically in discharge, referral, transfer. Okay, if you are confused in that, one thing that I would like you all to focus on is every time you are writing the letter to GP, okay, every time you are writing the letter to GP, you're not going to write way too much information about the patient. Okay, you're not going to write way too much information about the patient. Why? Because the GP already knows the patient. Okay, or like may already know the patient, so you don't have to emphasize so much on the patient's details, like you're telling about the patient's family and personal life and their occupation. No need of that. Okay, because the GP may already know the patient and their history and their social background, so you can just straight up come to the point. Okay, so we have here the questions can be uh, one second. Referred back letters are basically patient was referred by GP to specialist. Okay. Then uh, the patient was referred back to GP for follow up care. Okay, so this is basically what referred back letters are. Then questions can be like write a letter to the GP regarding the patient or patient's condition or patient's follow-up care, whatever purpose is given in your writing task, you can just go according to that. Okay, main word in the letter, in the referred back letters will be refer, referred back, or referring to you, uh, or you can write referring to you, referring back to you. If the GP sent the patient to you at like first, and then you are, now you are sending your patient back to the GP, okay, for follow up care. So that is how you can write it. Then another thing that you can do is you can just request, or this may be in your writing task as well, that you can request the GP to provide follow up care or required care. Okay, either this will be in your writing task only, or you can just write it on your own, because that will make sense. Okay, that you're just going to request GP to provide follow up care or required care. Request GP to provide follow up care or required care. So I hope this is clear to all of you. The third type of letters. Let me just remove this. If you all have written this, if you all have noted it down, one second. Then after this, we will be talking about discharge back letters. Here we have, one second. Yeah. So after this, we will be talking about the discharge back letters. You can note it down till I just make it. Yeah. Here we have writing task will give you the purpose. Purpose can be, it can be very, like, it will be very obvious. If you read the writing task, it will be very obvious to you just after reading it once. You will understand if it is a referral letter or if it is a discharge letter, or what kind of letter it is and why exactly you are writing the letter. Okay, that will be just very obvious to you, and you will not have to struggle for it, right? So I would suggest that keep reading the writing task first and then read the case note. All right, so here we have, yeah, let me just put it here, community nurse letters, then we have visit letters, and then we have third letter. All right. Now, another type of letter which is very common is the discharge back letters. Okay, so discharge back letters, just give me a second. Now, discharge back letters are basically, here we have the fourth type of letters, discharge back letters. Okay, so discharge back letters are basically what? Whenever, patient comes from a retirement home or specific place and is being discharged back to that place. Okay, this is discharge letters or discharge back letters. Okay, that the patient came to your clinic or hospital or your care for their illness. Okay, and now they have gotten the treatment, and now they are better, and now they are going back to that place wherever they came from. It can be a retirement home, it can be their own home, okay, or it can be any specific place. Okay, then here we have discharge back letters can be, yeah, second, yeah, discharge back letters can be, uh, basically they mean that patient patient comes from a retirement home or any specific place and is being discharged back to that place. Okay, so this is what we call discharge back letters. All right. So the question can be like, write a letter to the place regarding the patient. So basically, you are writing the letter to retirement home or any specific place that they were earlier, they were living at. So you are writing the letter to that place. Write a letter to the place regarding the patient. Okay, so this is the kind of question that you can receive. Main word in these types of letters will be what? It can be discharge, discharge back, or discharge. Okay, so it can be main word here, discharge, discharge back, or dis discharge. You can say, or you can say the patient is getting discharged today, is being discharged today, is going back home. So such kind of words will be in focus. Okay, then uh what is necessary in these types of letters is that you advise the place to follow instructions for the patient's recovery. Okay, because that is really important. Advising the place to follow instructions for the patient's recovery. Okay. because they may not know about how exactly how to exactly take care of the patient, right, and what all things are needed for the patient to recover properly. Okay, so make sure that you are focusing and emphasizing on these things in your letter. All right, so these are the four types of letters that are very common in writing module and that you can expect. Another thing that I would suggest you all is the tips, like general tips, if I just give you all regarding the writing module, is first is that many students have this perception regarding the writing module and the letters that the more fancy words and the more heavy English words I'm going to use in my letter, the better it will be. But many students make this mistake that even if they learn the word, okay, even if they learn many 5 to 10 vocabulary words, okay, they are not really aware of how to use them according to the sentence formation and scenario. Second, the second mistake that they do is that most of the time you do not even need to write such letters. You don't even need to use such words um, in your letter, right? So, what I would suggest is that keep your letters simple and concise and to the point. Your main focus should be that your letter is on point, it is accurate, okay, it matches with the writing task that is given to you. You're not missing out on the details that have to be there, okay. So that is very important. Rather than using fancy English, heavy words, no, don't do that. There is no need for that. Okay. Keep it simple and keep it concise. So, first tip that I can give you is keep it simple and concise. Okay. Another thing which is very useful, not in just writing module but also the speaking module, the use of connectors. Okay, like although, yet, and the conjunctions, okay, grammar topic conjunctions, that is very helpful while you are writing sentences and you want to add up more information and details in one sentence only, okay, because you don't want to make your passage main body bulky, right? It shouldn't look like a wall of information, right? It should be, it should be organized, right? So try using connectors, words like although, yet, though, conjunctions like however, okay, and other words, sentence starters. Furthermore, if you want to add up more information, you should use words like additionally, in addition to. So these words are very nice, and these words will show good vocabulary also, and they will improve the quality of your letter as well, okay. So if you use these words, okay, it will also highlight the main points, the important points, okay. So second advice that I can give you here is use connectors, conjunctions, and sentence starters like although, yet, however, furthermore, in addition to, and so on. Okay, because they will highlight to highlight uh, the important points in your letter. It will not look like that you have just written your letter like in a form of an essay. Okay, so that is very important. Now, another thing that I can suggest is just proofread the letter for errors. Okay, like when you will finally be finished with your whole letter, you have written it. Okay, just proofread your letter, go through it again just to see. and look for any errors, any spelling mistake, any word you have written wrong, any word you have missed out in your sentence. Okay, so just proofread your letter for errors and make any necessary corrections if needed. Okay, in the end, just go through it quickly. See, read it like, read it like a third person, right? And just make any necessary corrections. Here we have proofread the letter for errors and make any necessary corrections. Okay, so here we have another tip. It's very important if you just look out for errors and you just read your letter like a third person, like the reader, the person who will be receiving your letter. If you just read it like that, you will see, and you will you will be able to find out if you missed out a word or you have framed the sentence in a incorrect manner, right? So just keep in mind that. And another tip that I can give you is, if if your word count, there is a word limit for your letters in the OET exam. If word count is slightly under, or even if it is over the desired length, like most of the times the length is 200, 180 to 200 words. So if you have written your letter for around like 170 words, or if it is like 210 words, okay, if the word count is slightly under or over the desired length, it is okay. Okay, as long as the main points are covered. Okay, 210 is also fine, and 170, 75 is also fine. Okay, but if the main points are covered, if everything is covered, and if and your letter makes sense and it is accurate, it is appropriate, it's not missing out on any important details and information, okay, then your word length is fine. Then there is no problem. Okay. So another tip that I can give you is word count. If uh, the length of your letter is under or over the desired length, it is okay, as long as it's covering the main points. Okay, so these are the tips that I can give you, and these are some commonly asked questions from students. Okay, if they are very anxious about the word limit, because they feel like they are not able to sum up everything given in the case note. Another thing that I can tell you is that please try to write your letter in a way which does not have irrelevant information. Okay, this is, I think, another thing that I can tell you, that if you feel like your word limit is over, okay, like you have written 215 words or 10 words, and those 10 to 15 words are just irrelevant information, which has no concern, which has no meaning, and which has literally no connection with the writing task, okay, just don't write it. Okay, try to analyze your writing task in a way, just before you are reading, before you start writing your letter, analyze it and create an image of it, what you are going to write, the content, in a way that you don't make any mistake which you cannot undo later. Okay, you will not be able to cut out the whole part or passage in your letter. It will look very messy and untidy, right? So just have so much practice and analyze your writing task and your letter in that way. I hope this was clear to all of you. These are some general tips that you can keep in mind. And we covered four types of letters that are very common in OET exams. And I hope this video was informative for you and you got some, tips and it was helpful to you. Uh, for more such videos, you can subscribe to our channel. And yeah, that was all, everyone. Thank you so much.